age 50 and over, and their families and friends. We wanted to educate women on the signs and symptoms of a heart attack, engage women to change their behavior and improve their health. So we all know about lifestyle changes, exercise, eating right, making sure if we have risk factors, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, we try to keep those under control. Modifiable risk factors for sure, work on those. Family history. Dr. Kim said something really cute on the radio yesterday. He said, you should be very wise in picking your parents. Because, family history is huge, but there's not a lot we can do about it other than take every risk factor that we can modify and work hard on modifying it. And if we want to make sure we empower women to call 911 to save their own lives. Okay, so we'll go into signs and symptoms. These are some of the billboards that you see, the newspaper ads. We're trying to get those out there. So for women, chest pain, discomfort, pressure, or squeezing is one of the symptoms. Usually for men, they usually present with the elephant on the chest, a very significant chest pain going radiating to the back, and that's usual. There's always the ones that don't, but typically men present very strongly with chest pain. And that's explained to me because women's vasculature is really different. The arteries are smaller, so we don't have as much searing pain that men have. So that's one of the little differences. We can have chest pain, but it's not usually the big pain. Some people do. Upper body pain and discomfort in one or both arms, back, neck, jaw, or upper part of the stomach. That's kind of also similar to men's. The one that I wanted to point out, the upper part of the stomach, one of our ladies in the support group said to me that was the only thing that she had. Pain that was kind of right above her stomach. It wasn't around her heart area, it was lower. But she also said with that I knew something was wrong, and I knew something had been wrong for quite a while. So it was kind of that, again, that thing that we have in us that says, something's not right. And then the pain, of course she kept thinking it was something else. But in the end, she realized that it was a heart attack. Breaking out in a cold sweat. We were talking about maybe a lot of women relate this to like hormonal things. I know we normally break out, we get the hot flashes and all that. There are times when we just kind of are a little sweaty, things aren't right. We just always just say, oh, it's something else, it's whatever. But it's not, we don't think about just cold sweats possibly being heart related. Shortness of breath. I love to talk about shortness of breath with ladies because what is it? It is always we gained a little weight, got short of breath because of that. Always. That's our first denial of heart disease and shortness of breath related. We gained a little weight or haven't been exercising and I'm just out of shape. We can just write off every symptom so easily. Lightheadedness or sudden dizziness. I would probably say I've got a little ear and mouth or something. But these are more the very subtle symptoms that if it's really early in the progression of the disease and it's not actually a heart attack, but it's blockages, this is your body telling you, the blood's not getting through. So, if we can pick up on these things early enough and just see our physician. This is kind of the prelude to actually calling 911. These are things that go on sometimes for weeks or months, and we don't recognize them early enough, and we end up with a significant blockage or that blood clot that's going and stopping blood flow. So these are things that you really, really think about and try to not deny it that it's just nothing. Nausea. This is my least favorite picture that they have. One big billboard of this one too, so I like to have that picture. But nausea, is something we ate, just upset stomach. Unusual fatigue. Most of the polls show that women present with fatigue first and then shortness of breath. The unusual fatigue, usually, we all have a reason to have fatigue, no matter what age we are. But the unusual fatigue usually starts very slightly and will continue to get worse, and along with the shortness of breath. They just kind of gradually continue on. And the fatigue, I would say, for most women, it's going to be a very hard call to think that something's really going on. But that's another one of those things. Just tell your primary care physician, your OBGYN. We're really out educating the OBGYNs on signs and symptoms of women's heart disease also, because a lot of women are more likely to actually talk to them than their regular primary care physician. Not sure why, but it really, some of the studies show that really they need to be educated as much as the internal medicine and family practice physicians. Okay, so for the campaign overview, the objective was to increase the number of women who are aware of the signs and symptoms and the importance of calling 911 and then actually calling it. We can get you the awareness that you're supposed to call it, but then we got to try to get you to actually do it when you feel like the time is needed. And we're targeting women primarily 50 or over who wonder if they're at risk. And so hopefully this will give you a little bit of an idea of whether you possibly are at risk or not. And then the secondary audience would be family members and bystanders over age 18. Some of the key insights on the campaign: while most women are aware that there are other symptoms of heart attack besides chest pain, they don't really know what they are. And then we talk about the embarrassment, afraid to call 911. We make jokes about it, but we say, can't call 911 if my hair and nails aren't done. Can't call 911 if my house isn't clean and my kids' face are washed. I can't let them come in here and see how I live. But, the other alternative is they come in, take you out, and it's not on a stretcher. So really, really got to think about, weighing the odds of it doesn't really matter what they think versus staying alive. And the call to action is to drive consumers to a website or to just educate you about the signs and symptoms, and also knowing that risk factors increase your chances of having a heart attack, and really take those risk factors seriously. Because sometimes we just say, well, this one risk factor, that's not going to cause me any problems. But really, when we get one, that one's going to snowball, and we'll get another one, and before we know it, we've got all these risk factors for heart disease. Okay, so the campaign's called Make the Call, Don't Miss a Beat. The website is womenshealth.gov/heart attack or selfregional.org. Now, I'm going to tell you, don't go to selfregional.org quite yet. We're building a new cardio ambassador website. It should be out the next couple of weeks, and it's going to have all this campaign material on it. It's going to be a great website. We'll have some internal announcements about when that's ready for everyone to view. I think we're going to hear the song one more time. You'll sing it all day, okay? I almost wanted to break into the dance, but because I see it so much too. We play it when we go to do education. A lot of times we play the little dance. It's like, one day I'm just going to break out and do it somewhere. Okay, that's it. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you all for coming, and remember your signs and symptoms.